Hello, you ghouls, goblins, gals, guys, gazebos, Garth Brooks, gentlemen, gentle thems, there's gotta be another one. Well, either way, here we are for football week 4. I know it looks like a 2-1, but it's a 4. Week 4 NFL predictions by Phantasm ASMR. Phantasm ASMR. I moved my mic to a different spot. It's not right over here anymore, which is like it used to be right here. Now it's about here. So I'm gonna try whispering into it a little more often, but I have to make sure I look at you and I give you the wink eyes. You know what I mean? But let me know if you can hear me better this way, because I know it's sometimes I get drowned out in the sound of the trigger, especially if I'm making the trigger like right up close here, because I used to have the mic right here. So if I like make the noise right up close to you, and then I kind of drown myself out, unless I really enunciate, and I keep forgetting to do such things. And speaking of things that I keep forgetting to do, let's go ahead and start with the predictions, because we're almost 2 minutes into the video and I haven't said one team name yet. Let's see, in a recap from last week, any major things happened? Jacoby Brissett did okay. Justin Tucker broke a record for longest field goal. Somebody tied a record for field goal kick return longest. AK the longest play in NFL history. Longest play possible. So, moving on to week 4 with the predictions. I have a couple upsets in here. Let me just go ahead and tell you the triggers we're operating with today. And if you have noticed, my hair is shorter right now, and I did not get a haircut. No, I just got out of the shower, and I will take my hair down in just a second. I'm not wearing any rings either. That's also why. I got this little guy right here. Just slacked the mic. I wonder how that sounded. The ball of Ponderman, obviously. And then trying to put my, there we go, I guess. Trying to put my fingers, it's not working. Got the globe. And also, good old little pen clicky. And if you're still here, even though I haven't started any talking on the actual subject matter yet, you get a little reward of a little bit of a sniff. Thank you for being patient with me. Now to continue with the actual, start with the actual game predictions. I hope you can also hear me legibly. I hope this isn't super loud. I'm trying to find the happy medium. Week 4 starts now. Jacksonville at Cincinnati. I'm going to go with Cincinnati. I feel like it'll be a good game, but I think Cincinnati's going to win it. Cincinnati. Then we got Tennessee and the New York Jets. The Tennessee Titans are without Julio Jones. They're without Julio Jones, and they are also without A.J. Brown. They're without A.J. Brown. They're without A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. Now, that's kind of a big deal because they didn't really have anybody outside them anyway. They have Josh Reynolds, I think his name is, but so he's their number one at the moment. So, you know what that says to me? Derrick Henry. That's what it says to me. That's what it says to me. Silly me dropping the pen. And while I think Derrick Henry can single-handedly beat the New York Jets without a question, I think the New York Jets aren't going to go 0-16, so I feel like they have to win some game. And, if there's any game Tennessee's going to lose, it's because they're missing their top two receivers, you know what I mean? Their defense can't carry them, every week. Okay, let me take that back. Their defense can't carry them every week, but it's very possible that their defense can do that this week, and it's also very possible that Derrick Henry alone could do that this week. So it's gonna be one of those two that wins the game for the Titans. However, this is one of my upset games. I'm having the New York Jets upset the Tennessee Titans. Now, am I super confident in this? No, but do I think it's gonna happen? And yes, I do. Am I firm on it? Not really. But here I am saying the New York Jets will beat the Tennessee Titans. Because the New York Jets are at home, remember. Not like that really matters with them. But the next game is the Detroit Titans. We're in the short circuit. It's a different sport. Detroit Lions at the Chicago Bears. And Chicago got 1 yard of passing offense last week. They should do better this week, especially against Detroit. But Detroit's a better team than the record shows, and Detroit's a better team than they should be. It's flat out. So, I'm gonna give it to Detroit because Detroit's on a positive swing and Chicago's on the downside. However, if Chicago, it's very possible Matt Nagy's looking at his schedule and going, okay, I'm already fairly on the hot seat. I'm not boiling hot. I'm not about to get kicked out or nothing like that, or fired yet. But look, if you look at the rest of the Chicago Bears season, especially in the middle of the year, they go against some very good defenses, and that's not necessarily something that you want your rookie quarterback to do, especially after he just got 1 yard of passing offense in his first start. He matched his jersey number. That's not good. He's going to be a fine quarterback. He's going to be good. It just wasn't his first start. That's all. Can you tell this part really bothers me often? So I'm having Detroit beat the Chicago Bears. Come to Chicago and beat the Bears. Next game is Indianapolis Colts at the Miami Dolphins. Could be a good game. You got the Indianapolis Colts with their injured starting quarterback, Carson Wentz, who's going to play anyway, probably. They're also missing their best player in Quentin Nelson. The Dolphins are missing their non-rookie quarterback, who's been okay. They're missing him, so it's not like a huge blow, but missing a quarterback's a big blow regardless. That being said, I think Miami's defense is going to frustrate the Colts' offense enough to where the Miami Dolphins win. And then next game after that is the Cleveland. Well, let me restate this. I have the Indianapolis Colts losing in Miami. I have the Cleveland Browns at the Minnesota Vikings and winning. I have the Cleveland Browns winning at Minnesota. Minnesota still doesn't have a secondary. Bird is so loud. darn Killdeer. This does not have a secondary. You might be able to stop the run, but probably not the pass. And Cleveland's pass rush looked really good against the Bears, but the Bears' offensive line looked like garbage the whole season. So it's probably going to be a good game. It's probably going to be a good game, but I think Cleveland's going to win because I think Cleveland's a better team. And I think the matchup's in their favor. Next game is the Washington football team at the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I happen to know a good bit about this matchup. I pay attention to this game every so often. Every time it comes around, and usually in recent history, like within the past, like during the Matt Ryan era, the Falcons I think have won almost all of them. Now the football team is a better team than the Falcons. However, the football team is on a negative trajectory. However, they could use the Falcons to straight up bounce, especially with their defense. So Washington could run away with this. Washington could do it since what the Eagles did to Atlanta. Just straight up win with their D-line. But Atlanta's offensive line has improved a good bit since then. So I do have the Falcons winning because they normally do in the matchups. And I usually try to pay attention to how teams normally do against each other. I usually use that because it's honestly a pretty good meter. So I have the Falcons winning that one. Next we have the Houston Texans at the Buffalo Bills, and I'm pretty sure it's obvious who I'm picking here. That's right, it's the team with horns. It's jokes because they both have horns. One's a buffalo and the other one's a Texan, which is I guess a cattle, bull. Buffalo's gonna win that game. Shocker, I know. The New York Giants at the New Orleans Saints. And the New Orleans Saints have not had a good 2 weeks. They had a good week 1, but they had not had a good 2 weeks after that. I did not expect them to have a good week 1, to be honest, but they did. Now, the New York Giants have had a abysmal 0-3 start to the year. They haven't looked bad per se, and they haven't looked awful, but they've not looked good. They've been competitive in most of the games, if not all that I can remember. I know at least 2. I can't remember week 1, but I have them not walking into New Orleans because that's not where they're playing, but walking into wherever New Orleans is going to be playing, and beating the Saints. Because Jameis Winston did not look good last week and didn't look good the week before that. Now, if the Giants' defense can do a decent job, better than they have so far this year, then they can make Winston make mistakes and make enough offensive success to win the game in theory. However, their defense could suffocate. Daniel Jones could make the game, win the game with their defense. Their offense could work perfectly fine against the Giants' defense. That's how unpredictable the Giants' defense has been so far this year. It's not very steady, but they have talent. They have a lot of talent, so they should be good. They were good last year, so I have them getting their act right a little bit in terms of defense and keeping them in the game, and then the offense doing enough. New York Giants winning at New Orleans, at the Saints. The Kansas City Chiefs at the Philadelphia Eagles. The Kansas City Chiefs are due for a win. They are 1-2. Who would have thought the Kansas City Chiefs would be at the bottom of the AFC West to start the year? Well, they were almost 0-3, but they're going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles at home for sure. I'm just going to move on from that one. Carolina at the I almost said the Dallas Stars. That's not correct. At the Dallas Cowboys. Carolina Panthers at the Dallas Cowboys, and I think this is going to be a very good game. A very, very good game. And I wanted to say Carolina was going to win it. I really did. I thought about it for a minute. I really did. I really had, really thinking about Carolina's defense against the offensive line that looks banged up or not as good as normal. You know what I mean? Carolina would not, I don't want to say wreck, but like if they can win that part in a dominant way, they're probably going to win the game. Now I think Dallas's defense is better than I thought they would be. At least at the current moment, they're doing okay. Still think they're going to fall apart eventually. Or it's just possible that Dan Quinn was always meant to be a defensive coordinator, never a head coach. But I think Dallas is going to win this game. I think Dak is not slowing down, and he's not gonna get impeded too much by that Carolina defense. He's gonna have struggles. It's gonna be a good game, but he's gonna work. Dak's gonna work. Dak's gonna function, and that Dak's gonna function more than Sam Darnold is without Christian McCaffrey. Dallas wins. The Seattle Seahawks at the San Francisco 49ers. Now, they're both good teams, and they're both in the NFC West, and divisional games are always tough and hard to predict, and for the most part. But I think San Francisco's secondary is not great, and I think Seattle's offensive firepower is in their passing game. And the running game's not bad either, but the running game could get shut down by Fred Warner and the D-line in San Francisco, in theory. But the passing game's not that great in San Fran, especially not with a lack of pass rush. So, I think Seattle's offense wins the matchup against the San Francisco defense. And I think they kind of tie. And it kind of comes to the matchup of San Francisco's defense versus San Francisco's offense versus the Seattle defense. I think they're kind of like even, so I think they're gonna score, but I think Seattle's gonna kind of have their way with the San Fran defense. I could very easily be wrong, but I have the Seattle Seahawks going to San Fran and winning. The next game is the Arizona Cardinals versus the Los Angeles Rams. Now, I think this will probably be the game of the week. Most interesting game to watch. Arizona's been lighting it up offensively. There's a slight hamper there with DeAndre Hopkins hurting a rib, but he's probably going to still show out against his favorite rival, which is Jalen Ramsey. Well, I'm pretty sure it's his favorite rival. It's Jalen Ramsey. They always gab. They always post things about that. They even went to the same division together. They were in the AFC South, and then they both went to the NFC West. I think it's funny, because they're like, oh, I miss playing against that guy two times a year, which obviously, like, I'm sure that was like one of their thoughts. And like, I have to respect the competitiveness to not just go, I kind of want to avoid that guy, but like instead to go, I want to beat that guy twice a year. I want to go against him. I think the Rams are a better team than the Cardinals are, but I think the Arizona Cardinals have more firepower than the Rams. And I think the Rams are going to win this one. And then we have the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Green Bay Packers. And Pittsburgh is on a downward trajectory. Pittsburgh is on a downward trajectory, but you're probably hearing static. Darn. I apologize if there's static. Or like did. I'm being stupid. Green Bay is going to beat Pittsburgh. Green Bay is on a upward trajectory. Aaron Rodgers is trying to get his groove a little bit. He's probably gonna stumble a little bit against Green Bay, but he should do better than he did against New Orleans. I mean, he better, right? He got me like 1.3 points in my fantasy league that week, and he's the reason I lost, basically. I'm still upset about that. Baltimore, I shouldn't be though. Baltimore at Denver. This is an upset because I love Baltimore. I think Baltimore's a good team. I think they're going to remain tough in a lot of games, and every game, and this is one of them as well. However, when you look at the matchup, Denver's offense is working. They're not blowing anybody away. They're not doing great, but they're working. They're doing okay. They're steady. They're just working. And if you look at the I feel like it's just how Baltimore does too. So like they're not phenomenal this year, but they are working. And Baltimore's offense is good, but they've had issues. They've also just like lit it up. Denver's defense is very good, and they're athletic enough, especially in my opinion, to cover and to worry about Lamar in the same breath. So I think Denver gets the upset win at home over the Baltimore Ravens. The next game is the night game. It's probably the most. It's gonna set some record for like the most watched game that isn't the Super Bowl. I'm sure. Tom Brady and Tampa Bay Bucks at the New England Patriots. Tom Brady walking back into Gillette Stadium. Everyone knows it's a big deal. Tom Brady looked like he had the suds earlier this week. He looked sick. He sounded sick, but he'll probably still play regardless. Tom Brady flu game, it might be. Now initially, my thought was Bill Belichick was prepping for this, and he's been game planning for this all year. And like it's not a year. Ever since Tom Brady signed Tampa Bay, he's been game planning for this game in specifics. Now that being said, I initially thought that Bill Belichick was going to get the win here. But I had to remind myself of an adage that usually rings fairly true. Don't bet against Tom Brady. Especially games that like mean something to him, you know? I feel like this is gonna be he wants this one so bad. The list of teams that Tom Brady has not beat, I'm pretty sure is just New England. I think. And so he's trying to finish that. Get all 32, I guess. Unless he doesn't beat the Bucs, I feel like he's beat the Bucs. I'm not gonna bet against Tom Brady as much as I think Bill Belichick has been game planning, and I respect and think Bill Belichick is very capable of straight up winning a game by himself, basically. Tom Brady, I cannot bet against him in a game that he is emotionally geared toward. You know what I mean? And now we are at the last game of the season. Last game of the week. I see you, Boof. The Las Vegas Raiders, who are on an upswing, are going to the Los Angeles Chargers, who are also on an upswing. I have to be a big Charger supporter this year. Like in terms of I like them more than I liked the Bills last year. I think maybe. At home, they're going to beat the Raiders. It's going to be a good game, and I'm looking forward to watching that game. But it is going to be the Chargers winning that game because their offenses both offer a decent bit. However, I think the Chargers defense is better than the Raiders defense in all aspects. And I like Justin Herbert more than Derek Carr. I like Justin Herbert more than a lot of quarterbacks, though. Just to give a real quick run through of all the games again. Thank you for watching. Jacksonville, Cincinnati. Cincinnati wins. Tennessee at New York Jets. New York Jets win, surprisingly. Detroit Lions at Chicago. Detroit wins. Indianapolis at Miami. Miami wins. The Cleveland Browns at Minnesota. Cleveland wins. Washington football team at the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons win. Houston at Buffalo. Buffalo wins. New York Giants at New Orleans. New York Giants win. Kansas City at Philadelphia. Kansas City wins. Carolina at Dallas. Dallas wins. Seattle at San Francisco. Seattle wins. Arizona at Los Angeles. The Rams win. Los Angeles Rams. The Rams win. Pittsburgh Steelers at Green Bay. The Packers win. Baltimore Ravens at the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos win. The Tampa Bay. The Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. Buccaneers at the New England Patriots. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers win. Oh man. And the last game of the week, the Las Vegas Raiders at the Los Angeles Chargers. The Los Angeles Chargers win. All right, that's week 5. And for those of you who are still here, you probably like hearing me talk for some reason. So hi, how are you doing? Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for still paying attention to even this point. Like, what are you doing here? Hi, how are you? You little viewer, you. Thank you. I'm gonna update you on my predictions because week 1 I went 11. No, sorry, I went 5 and 11 for 5 right and 11 wrong. Yeah, it's real bad. Week 2 I went 11 and 5. And that's the exact opposite, so it brought my record to 16 and 16, which is half and half, obviously. So it's 500 at that point. And then last week, I went 12 and 4. So my overall record now, in terms of predicting games, right, is 28 and 20. And let's see what we do in this upcoming week. Let's see, week 1, yeah, I had 11 wrong. That's over half of the ones I have wrong. Well, thanks for watching. Football is coming up soon. Let me know how you like this little mic setup right here, this little spotlight, this little spot right here, this little spot. I'm probably gonna use it for like most role plays. I'm trying to get better with me, like you guys hearing me talk, because I know it's frustrating to have like the volume over here and then like the me volume be like right here. Essentially, it's not ideal. But thank you for being patient with me, and thank you for being here, and thanks for enjoying my content, regardless of the strifes, the areas that have room for betterment, which is technically all of them. But thanks for watching. This is October, so expect many a character and many a role play, and just more, I guess spooky oriented things, and more like just I love October. I love fall, man. I love autumn. And this is almost to 30 minutes, so I'm probably just gonna let it go ahead and get to 30. I guess I do this. I'll make some noises for y'all.